In Illinois, like in many other states, we have a state breach notification law, and we continue to enforce that and use that as a primary mechanism for interacting with businesses who have suffered breaches and looking at the bigger picture in terms of their overall data security. In Illinois, we do not currently have a law that requires proper disposal of documents containing social security numbers and other personal information. Our breach notification law has recently been amended to include proper disposal requirements, and that provision is going to be enforceable by the Attorney General's office. Prior to that provision being passed, it has not yet been signed. It was just passed a week or so ago. We would use usually our Consumer Fraud Act to talk with businesses that had improperly disposed of personal information. A lot of what we're looking at and what we've looked at in Illinois specifically, and then at the multi-state level when we've conducted multi-state security breach investigations, is to look at an entity's privacy policy and the representations made in that policy. And if those representations were in fact not being adhered to, we usually can then bring a misrepresentation claim under our Consumer Fraud Act. And that has been consistently what we've been looking at all the way starting back during our Choice Point investigation in 2005. At this point, I mean, at the multi-state level, we're obviously looking at the larger companies. So the larger companies that suffer the large security breaches, we get together once a month. The Illinois leads a call with the states on privacy issues specifically. There's all kinds of working groups within the National Association of Attorneys General. Privacy is one of them, and Illinois actually leads that call. And so every month we meet and discuss security breaches among other privacy issues. And so when there are larger breaches, and with respect to the larger companies, oftentimes many states will get together and have a coordinated investigation. But we still are seeing some smaller companies that are just in Illinois, that just have breaches of Illinois residents. There's still a lot of education that's happening with respect to these smaller entities. They don't really know that they're supposed to send notification. They don't really understand that they're supposed to have, as a best practice, they're supposed to have some sort of information security program. And so there's a lot of education that's still happening. Mm-hmm. There are a variety of ways that we learn about incidences, and a lot of them are through the same ways that everyone else learns about them in the press. And we do have, at the state level, we have subpoena authority, so we can send a subpoena to a company requesting some information. Sometimes we'll do an informal letter request instead of a subpoena to try to open up a dialogue about what happened. And then, you know, like I said, there's a lot happening in terms of multi-state coordination. So we do try to coordinate with other states that may be looking at a similar breach. We do try to get in contact with the FBI or the Secret Service, whichever law enforcement agency is investigating. There's sort of two investigations that occur. The first on the breach notification is in those states that have some specific requirements about what needs to be in the notification letter. Are those requirements being met? And also because state AGs now can enforce the breach notification provisions in HIPAA, so we're looking at those too. Did the breach notification letter go out in a reasonable amount of time, you know, within 60 days under HIPAA? Did it contain the appropriate information? Did it contain accurate information? Were consumers confused by it? That sort of thing. And then the next investigation is, so what happened? Let's get down to exactly what happened. And was someone rooting around in their system for 6 months and they should have been able to detect it? Do they have lax policies in terms of an employee being able to take portable media out of the business and they weren't enforcing those procedures? Whatever it is, we're trying to look at those things as well.